Yeah, most sports talking heads make predictions, then hope you forget about how wrong they were. But not Mackie and Judd.
Write this down.
This is the big leagues, where we own our terrible predictions.
Write that down.
And keep track of each other's batting averages. It's Write That Down.
Write it down. You like writing things down.
With Mackie and Judd.
Write them down. It's like a personal contract with ourselves.
Yeah. Only show in America, NFL Network, that actually keeps track of statistics next to our predictions. More people have been sending in the blatant theft of NFL Network in the 8 o'clock hour of their pregame show.
Do you think it
Stealing
starts
this segment?
I wonder if that starts with Tom. I mean, Pelcero lives in town here.
He's just floating segment ideas over.
Very aware of
course.
what we're doing.
Yeah.
I wonder if they said the only way that we're going to retain you is if you give us some segment ideas. And he's like,
man.
Write that down. It's pretty good.
Oh,
Where'd
man,
you think of that?
There's a couple of guys that have about 14 great segments that could be stolen. Let's start with this one. Yeah. NFL Network.
Or he took credit. Or he just took credit. And said,
But they don't put
just
stats, do they? I think they just make their predictions and then maybe revisit them, but not really.
Because who would keep track?
Yeah.
You'd be an idiot.
And then humbly, and not humbly brag that he's better than his co-host at it. Like who other show would be able to do that?
I think that'd be the guy that won the title last year.
Oh, interesting.
Mister.
Okay.
Wow. Look at you guys. I'll let you guys keep going if you want to here.
No, go ahead.
Taking
No,
a
no,
little passive-aggressive shots at each
You're
other.
back. It's okay. Yeah, no.
All right, yeah. So the show is back at full strength. That's debatable. This is Write That Down. 3 predictions from everybody each week. They must be quantifiable. We keep track of batting averages and home runs on this, the classic edition of Write That Down. If you want to participate like Josh is about to, or Bad Dad Joke on the YouTube comment section, you can send us a message through the SKOR North app. All right, gentlemen, let's get our comeuppance. We will start with Judd here on the accountability session. A lot of things came off the board for you, Judd. It is a kind of a bloodbath here, actually.
Well, the second one is long, so it makes it look worse. So I'm going to just,
okay.
You know, we're always looking. I mean, these things are easily correctable. I just have to look at the film of when I made these predictions.
Well, you said Kirill Kaprizov would score 2 or more goals in the opener.
They had 3.
You were close. He had 2 in the third game.
Yeah.
You said at least 2 of these 5 players acquired by the Jazz won't start the season on their roster. Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverley, Jared Vanderbilt, Leandro Balmaro, and Walker Kessler.
It's only one.
The only one is Pat Bev.
Yeah.
Oh,
Everyone else.
bad
That's
beat.
that's 2 tough beats for me.
Yeah,
But
I mean,
that's a
Malik
long
Beasley
one.
is going to score about 22 points a game on 30 shots for the Jazz.
Right.
Come on out and watch Malik Beasley chuck 15 threes in the first half, kids.
Yep.
Miami Heat will part ways with Jimmy Butler this offseason. And then you said the Stars, Red Wings, and the Devils will all make coaching changes by next season. I believe the Devils are still employing, is it Lindy Ruff?
Yeah, Lindy Ruff is still there.
Okay. So
Classic.
you came close on that one.
Death, taxes, and Lindy Ruff.
I'm very close.
Still coaching
like I
hockey.
feel pretty good about. I mean, these are defeats, but I feel pretty good about how I performed.
That's good.
I was
You
so
happy with
close.
your process?
I was so close. Yeah, my process was outstanding. And then I got this one.
The Gopher football team will lose to Illinois. That was
Congrats.
I should have said got their
disaster.
ass kicked because they got their ass handed to them defensively. What happened?
That was bad, man. This is turning into a train wreck season. Luckily, we spotted it from the start. Never led anyone astray into unwarranted optimism at all on this show. All right, I said, speaking of unwarranted optimism, the Gophers would beat Illinois.
Nope.
Yeah. This is kind of a bad beat here. I said Kirill Kaprizov will have a multi-goal game in the first or second game of the regular season. It was the third game.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
And then I said Carlos Correa would opt out of his current contract, and he will. I guess he has to technically wait like 3 more weeks, but he's announcing it to the world that he gone.
That's what we call a safety squeeze in the business.
Yep. Got to get some batting average points somewhere. All right, listeners, Eric said, we'll start with the bad here. Dalvin Cook will accumulate 100 total yards or more. This is a parlay. It got killed with that first section because he only had like 83 total yards. But he did have the touchdown and the 20-yard play against the Dolphins. He just needed like 17 more total yards or something. That was a tough one. Justin said, from the beginning of the year until the bye week, Kirk Cousins. We should actually clip that if we can find it.
Actually, I'll get it.
Kirk Cousins will have at least 13 touchdowns, but one of them will not be passing. He does have the non-passing touchdown, but he only has 9 total touchdowns so far. Excuse me. And then Eric said so I got to be honest, in the middle of like planning, I did watch the whole game on Sunday while I was like planning my dad's affairs and things, but I had the volume down on the broadcast. So I think this, because I saw a graphic pop up at one point. The prediction was, during the telecast, commentators will mention Dalvin Cook played football in the Florida area. And at one point, they put a graphic up showing his dominance against like Florida and Miami football teams.
I saw the graphic, but I didn't hear it. Yeah.
So I think it came up.
Yeah.
I would guess it came up. If Eric, if you want to self-report that it didn't, then the graphic showed it basically.
Yeah.
That he dominates this part of the country. So okay. Declan, bunch of things to talk about here. We'll start with the bad. You said the Wild will beat the Rangers by at least 2 goals. Oof. Tyson Jost scores the first goal for the Wild this season.
No, that didn't happen.
Came close.
You had the Wild at one point signing Paul Stastny.
Yeah, I did. He was a free agent out there for a while. Carolina.
And then you said after the Gobert acquisition, the Wolves will sign or acquire another former NBA All-Star player between that trade and the start of the season. I don't think they did with their veteran acquisitions.
No, and Austin Rivers was never an All-Star. So
yeah,
I did not.
A good, solid bench player. You did say that the Wild power play would convert at least 4 goals in the first 10, and I believe they are exactly 4 for 10, you said.
Yep.
To start the year. Need some help from you guys here. Declan said the Wild will use Mr. Brightside as their sing-along song in the home opener.
Nope. You can take this off the board as a miss for me, because for whatever reason we are still playing Bon Jovi and Sweet Caroline for sing-along songs. Just for God's sakes, get with the times. No one wants to hear these same dumb songs at hockey games.
So good.
Play something that everyone wants to hear.
Drunk rich people
like
from
Bon Jovi
Edina
myself.
and Woodbury love these songs. I don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah,
Congrats.
there are
Way to go.
some 57-year-old women in bedazzled jeans that love those John Bon Jovi songs.
He's not wrong.
Congrats to the NHL. They're marketing the right people. Good job.
So we'll take that one off the board for you. And with that, your stats are a little off here, Dex. You're actually hitting .438 on the season with 14 home runs. Both categories lead the league. Judd's at 362 with 8 bombs. Listeners at 306 with 11 home runs. I'm at 298 with 11 home runs. On the career stats, I'm 1 hit away from 200 career hits. Judd has 247. Listeners leading with 30 career home runs. So there you have it. That's the accountability session. Let's get guest listener predictor Josh in the room here on Mackie and Judd. Josh, or bad dad joke in the YouTube comment section. What's going on, man?
Not much. How are you doing?
Rocking your Jason Voorhees themed shirt here in October.
Oh, yeah.
Appreciate that.
I like it.
Absolutely.
Have you seen the new
Season.
Have you seen the new Halloween movie by chance?
I have not seen the new Halloween movie. I think the last one I watched was back in it was still on cable pay-per-view. Let's just put it that way.
Okay, yeah.
Those are the days,
I'm
man.
kind of back in. This is like the 10th iteration of the Halloween. I don't know. I think they're done with the Friday the 13th for now, but
Yeah,
I
I
gotta
think
go
for
kind of
now.
see. Okay.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, you know how it works here. But before we get into predictions, Josh, how did you and when did you become a suffering Minnesota sports fan?
I owe this one to my brother back in 1998. Joined in for the ride around week 2 and have been going strong since. I just kind of thought we'd always make it there, before I die. But we'll see. Try not to get too optimistic this season.
Yeah, well, I think, they have the second best record in the NFL right now. This is prime for some kind of Minnesota sports letdown, but we're not quite there yet. So we'll see. We'll start with Josh here. We're going to go around the room 3 times. The predictions must be quantifiable. That's pretty much the only parameter. So, Josh, if you are ready, lead us off.
Write this down.
All right. My first prediction, I have 3 or more of the following players will not be on the Minnesota Vikings Week 1 opening day roster. And I'm going to list 6 players, but I think 3 or more of them will not be here opening day Week 1. That is Daniil Hunter, Eric Kendricks, Harrison Smith, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, and Irv Smith Jr.
Okay.
So I think 3 or more of them are going to be gone by Week 1 of next year. Off the record, I think it's going to be Eric Kendricks, Dalvin Cook, and Harrison Smith, because I think the 3 of them make up for about $36 million in cap space for next year.
Yeah. You know who I think absolutely is going to be on the team that's not on your list? Zadarius Smith has the 3rd most pressures of any edge or linebacker in the entire league this year. He had 11 pressures against the Dolphins on Sunday. The only 2 guys with more pressures are Micah Parsons and Nick Bosa. So he's back.
Comeback player of the year is what you're telling us.
I think old Macadac has that in his prediction for one of these Write That Down sessions. Old Macadac.
Josh, can you
Down,
run
you like
can you run through
writing
those
things
6 players again, just so I make sure I have all of them?
Yep, the 6 players are Daniil Hunter, Eric Kendricks, Harrison Smith, Dalvin Cook, Adam Thielen, and Irv Smith Jr.
Cool.
All right, Judd, over to you.
All right, write this down. In lieu of the fact that the Wild goaltenders have given up 19 goals in 3 games, and the team now, because of an empty net goal on Saturday, is at 20 goals in 3 games, and Marc-Andre Fleury looks severely off his game. The Wild will make a trade for a goaltender during the season who will play for them. So I don't know it's going to be like a huge name. I think it could be a very much like a Dubnyk type of trade, which at the time we're all like, who the hell is this? But the backup goaltender Gustafsson is a backup. Like if he has the fact that he had to play
He's
against
certainly not
the
a
Avs,
backstop. We know that.
No, he's not. No, he's not. And the fact that he had the fact he got the start against the Avs is just absolutely frightening. So the Wild will make a trade for a goaltender during the season to try and salvage them.
Okay, are they just like resting Marc-Andre Fleury, or why did he?
He gave up 11 goals through 4 periods in the first 2 games. They put Gustafsson in on Saturday against the Kings.
Okay.
And then they started him against the Avs.
Got it. Okay.
Ooh, not good.
Yeah, that's rough. Okay, over to Declan, your first prediction.
All right, I'm
Write it
just
down.
going
You
to
like
try to
writing
will
things
some of the
down?
goaltending stuff into existence as well. So the Wild have 3 games between now and next week's Write That Down. They have the Canucks tomorrow. They have the Bruins on Saturday in Boston, a little afternoon matinee hockey, and then they have Montreal on Tuesday night. So write this down. The Wild will win a game this week, or win a game between now and next week's Write That Down, in which they allow 2 goals or less. Oh. So I want them to get their goaltending right in one of these 3 games. They will win one of these games, and in that win, they will allow 2 goals or less.
Okay. I'm trying to think if that's a home run at this juncture. Judd, do you think that's a home run considering what we've seen so far? That they'll win a game.
Montreal's not good.
And Vancouver's not good.
That's very, very possible.
It's a good, solid double. It's a double. If you were to say like a shutout or
one,
one,
then it's a home run.
Then it's a home run.
Okay.
So, all right, I'm going to start with one of my 3 Timberwolves-related predictions here.
down.
Happy Timberwolves opening day, everybody. I woke up, brushed my teeth with a glass of Timberwolves Kool-Aid. I am going to make a Timberwolves Kool-Aid smoothie for breakfast later.
What does the Wolves Kool-Aid taste like, Phil?
It tastes like the Western Conference Finals, Judd. That's what it tastes like.
Sam Cassell knows that.
It tastes like the big grapefruits dance. Yep. So, okay, this is a little bit of it's not a bunt, but they have a really laughably weak schedule to start the season. They're also trying to play 2 centers on the court at the same time, and they've basically never played together except for part of one preseason game. So they're going to try and figure this out. I think it's going to look a little clunky at first, but write this down. The Timberwolves will start at least 5-2.
Okay.
At least 5-2. I think anything less than that would be kind of a disappointment just based on who they play, but they'll start at least 5-2. Write it down.
Write this down.
All right, Josh, back to you.
All right, I've got a prediction for upcoming game against the Cardinals. I did happen to note that Call of Duty is coming out shortly before that game.
Oh.
And I have a feeling a certain quarterback probably won't be able to make his mandatory film meetings due to playing a little bit too much online. So I think Kyler Murray is going to have a up and down game. I think he's going to throw for over 300 yards, but I also think he's going to combine for an equal number of touchdowns and turnovers. I think this is going to be a true coin flip where he's going to come out and unleash his inner unprepared Jameis Winston and just chuck it up there and make plays with his feet, play some playground football.
All right. So what's the Dex? Do you need clarification on this?
Yeah. So Josh, so the number of touchdowns has to be the same or the same as turnovers, right? So if he has 2 touchdowns, 2 picks, this would hit. 2 touchdowns and a fumble and a pick, this would hit, correct?
Yep, that's correct. So I'm looking for passing and rushing touchdowns combined and total turnovers accounted, whether it's fumble recoveries or whether it's interceptions. I think he's going to have an equally up and down day, and I think he's still going to get his 300 yards because we play our shell defense. So I think he's just going to be a coin flip that day.
Jeb, were you going to say something?
How much of a problem is this really? This Call of Duty Kyler
it's been a running
it's
gag.
A thing. It is a thing.
And to Josh's point, who probably watched me make fun, because when I said COD, both of these two jokers said, well, what's COD? COD the fish?
Yeah, I know.
What the hell is COD? And I was like, Call of Duty. So yes, it is a running thing, for sure.
Yeah, he's got a lot of side commitments to Twitch streaming and playing video games and all this other stuff, and he's gonna get distracted by all that, and he's just gonna kind of wing it.
Oh my God.
It's so hilarious. Like, dude, you make ridiculous money playing football. You can play video games. You can retire when you're 33 or something and play video games for 50 years. What are you doing?
Write this down.
And
Aikman didn't play games. Steve Young didn't play video games back in my day.
You think Troy Aikman ever went on a Tecmo Super Bowl bender for the original Nintendo?
What did he find out he did? He's just like, yeah, that's all I did.
He's like, there's like 8 plays to choose from. He's just, you can play a full season in like 6 hours. Troy Aikman said, I haven't slept in a week.
The reason Cordell Stewart flamed out was because he was playing too much blitz football on Nintendo 64, right?
The steroided out players.
Yeah.
With Popeye forearms just bulging. All right, I think we're back to Judd here.
All right, write this down. My Timberwolves prediction. So if this all works as planned, like if Gobert and Towns work, if this whole thing comes together as planned, it's going to be largely in part because Chris Finch has done a fantastic job. My guy Finchy. Chris Finch will be named the NBA Coach of the Year.
Ooh.
Because if the Gobert Towns thing works defensively on the offensive side, if you think about all of the things he's trying to tie together successfully with good players, but skill sets that have to be complemented, Chris Finch, NBA Coach of the Year.
I like it. I think it makes sense. And you pretty much, you have to have like a top 4 seeded team. You know, the team success has to be pretty damn good on paper.
Write
all right,
this
Dex.
down.
All right, Wolves parlay here. You guys tell me if this is enough for a home run, and if it's not, I can add to it. But write this down. I will be in attendance, by the way, at the Wolves home opener as a fan tonight. We'll see how good Dex Tweets is feeling when we start speculation Thursday tomorrow. But write this down. The Wolves win the opener. Ant and Cat drop at least 20 points, and Jaden McDaniels scores at least 10 points as well. Do I need a little bit more because the Thunder stink?
Yeah.
Okay. How about the Wolves?
So Cat and Ant both average more than 20 points, and
Right,
Jaden averaged 9.6 or something.
But that this is a lot of parlay action. How about this? The Wolves win the opener by at least 15 points too.
There you go.
Enough? Okay.
Yep.
Because I know the Thunder stink.
Yep, that's good.
Okay.
I'm good there. And I'll admit I have a similar
Write this down.
spirited parlay here in which I'm going to try and go like above the averages to get there. I think if you just predict averages across the board, it's tough for a home run. But mark this down. The Wolves win. What's the spread? I want to say win and cover. You know what? I'm just going to say they win because it might get weird. The Wolves are going to win.
Okay.
And then Rudy Gobert, who averaged like 70% field goals last year, will shoot at least 80% from the field in this game, and will grab at least 15 rebounds. His career average is like 12.5 or something. So he's going to go above and beyond in this first game. 80% from the field or better, at least 15 rebounds, and a Wolves win in a parlay.
I like it.
Okay.
That's enough.
Okay, we're back to Josh here, your third and final prediction.
All right, so for my final prediction, I am going to predict that by the end of the NFL regular season, Kirk Cousins will throw for as many or more interceptions as Judd will have home runs by that point in time.
Is this on Purple Daily, right? Purple Daily, write that down.
No, this will actually be for Mackey and Judd.
Yep.
Okay.
He'll throw for as many interceptions as Judd will wind up in that time with home runs.
Okay.
And he's currently sitting at 8.
Yep.
Kirk's
at
5.
It's kind of neck and neck because he's got.
I was going to say Kirk's coming after me.
A couple of check down masters.
I love this.
Uh-oh. So yeah, I think he's throwing caution to the wind a little bit more, and it kind of seems like Judd's definitely leading the bottom in the home run category. So,
I like it, Judd. Do you feel personally attacked by this prediction? It's kind of
I don't listen to the haters.
I
don't listen to the haters. I don't listen to. We have. You know what? I keep everything here. It's just in house here. I only worry about what Stella, Dawn, me, and that's it. Think about.
That's it. No one else. Yep.
The bobbleheads too,
and the bobbleheads. Yeah.
I'm very concerned about the bobbleheads.
Not personally a hater. I've been following you since you were in print media. So it's been.
Let me tell you something, Sonny. The print days were pretty good. They're pretty profitable. Okay.
Yeah. They're consistently there, and the takes were there. So.
All right. Well, Josh, aka Bad Dad Joke, since you've got this life-changing platform right now on Mackey and Judd, is there anyone in your life you'd like to thank that brought you here?
Yes, I'd like to thank my wife, Mandy, for putting up with my Vikings fandom for the last 18 years. Been married for a large point of that, and she's put up with me getting drunk, yelling at the TV, enjoying all the highs and the lows, and actually was the first one to tell me that the Minneapolis Miracle happened. I had already checked out, assuming that we had lost that game, and she came running back.
Oh, wow.
You know that, hey, Vikings won, and I didn't believe her because I thought she was just pulling my leg at the time, but no, turns out that happened. So that was actually when I got introduced to the show. So I want to thank all of you for taking the time to have me on and for putting this out there for everybody. I listen to both SKOR North and Purple Daily, so look forward for some more content from you guys, and I'll keep listening.
Awesome, man. Well, thank you for coming on. Appreciate your support and your one-liners in the YouTube comment section. We'll get you on again sometime. All right. See you, Josh.
Yep.
All right. Before we home stretch it here on Write That Down, let's shout out our favorite underwear. The official underwear of Mackey and Judd and Purple Daily is Chill Boys, which right now, by the way, Minnesota-based company, you can find them online, chillboys.com, where you can get a 15% discount on all products as a first-time customer. So 15% off using SKOR15, SKOR 15 at checkout. And, when you're going through, life tragedies and father passing away, there's a few things that can make you feel a little bit better, right? A good meal, some good laughs, some good memories, and a good, fresh pair of Chill Boys boxer briefs, boys.
Absolutely.
Long John's in play at Surly on a chilly Sunday, and I continue to say the most comfortable Long John's I've ever worn. And I was nice and toasty. Yes, it is fantastic.
Even the hoodies. I'm rocking the Chill Boys hoodie today. The girlfriend keeps trying to take the hoodie. I said, no, you can go get your own
hoodie. Is she still
hoodie.
trying to take it?
Yes. This morning when I left, she said, God, I want that hoodie so bad. I said, go get one. SKOR 15. You can get 15% off your order.
Yeah, you're right.
Go get your own.
Yeah.
Stay away from my stuff.
There's some things that aren't going to be shared. And the hoodie is one of them.
Yeah, the Chill Boys hoodie.
And you say that until she gets mad, and then you'll share the hoodie.
That's true.
Chillboys.com. SKOR 15 is the promo code to get 15% off. Also, a shout out to our friends at Underdog, you guys. Saw another screenshot from Declan this morning from somebody.
Oh, yes. Yeah, we had some insanely big winners on Underdog Fantasy over the last week, which was awesome. We love that. Use promo code SKOR to join. But it is NBA season now, and if Dex tweets going to the Wolves game, you're going to bet he's going to be getting his drink, or maybe his sweat on, I should say, with Underdog Fantasy. So let's take the over on D'Angelo Russell points at 16.5. And Josh Giddey. I have never heard of Josh Giddey in my entire life, but I'm going to take the lower on 29.5 points, rebounds, and assists. So I will be getting my sweat on at Target Center. You can also, not just play football. There's NFL and NHL options too at Underdog Fantasy. Use promo code SKOR. It's in the link in the YouTube description. Promo code SKOR at Underdog Fantasy, the best and easiest way to play fantasy sports.
Josh Giddey. Okay, guy. Yeah. All right. Good luck grabbing rebounds with the Target Centers roaming around tonight.
Who is he?
So he was a lottery pick, I think, from I think he's Australian, but he was a lottery pick like 2 drafts ago.
Great hair, Dex. Josh has
Yeah, it is a
great
good
hair.
hair.
Like you might want to
Sure.
being in the great hair club. And by the way, Phil, we had I think no fewer than 2 people come up and say that like their daughters I think thought Dex was cute on Sunday.
Wow.
That's early.
One dad came up and said, "My daughter would just die if I got a photo with you. Can I get a photo with you?"
Oh, look at this guy.
And then he goes, "My wife also loves Judd, so can I also get a photo with Judd?" So it's a full circle of the heartthrobs on
it's like
this
a Purple
show.
Daily swingers party or something.
Yeah.
I don't know what's
The
happening.
moms love me and Dex. I mean, come on.
Oh, it's hilarious. We need like a side hustle for Declan here. He can be
know.
like the Purple Daily escort for those of you who are looking for
He's
a
our
good
boy band
time
guy.
on Friday night.
98 degrees.
Yep. All right, let's go back here to Judd for your third and final prediction.
All right. Timberwolves prediction. Write this down. Ant Edwards and Rudy Gobert will represent the Timberwolves at the NBA All-Star Game. Ant and Gobert. I think with Cat starting the season still probably not full strength because of the problem that resulted in his hospital stay and his role changing a little bit. I don't know if Cat's going to hit the ground running. I think Gobert's actually going to have his offensive role expanded a little bit as well with the Wolves compared to the Jazz. So I'm going with Ant and Gobert as the All-Stars.
Yeah. There's a lot of possibilities. I mean, hell, D'Lo puts up sometimes if he gets hot for a few months, could flirt.
Contract
maybe with an
year, too.
all-star.
Write that down.
You're not wrong.
Absolutely. All right, Dex.
All right, another Wolves prediction from me as well, with the Wolves having a little bit of a soft schedule to start. I think we're going to get a big game from D'Angelo Russell, so write this down. D'Lo will hit 5 or more three-pointers in a game between now and next week's. Write that down. So I think we'll get a hot D'Lo game where he hits 5 or more three-pointers, so write it down. D'Angelo Russell, 5 or more three-pointers in a game between now and next week's. Write that down.
I like it. All right, I'm gonna go with a Cat prediction here for my final one here. I guess the spirit of this is,
Write that down.
so he averaged taking like just under 5 threes a game last year. I think he's going to shoot more threes this season. I think they want him to shoot more threes because he's one of the best shooters in the NBA.
Yes.
And so, he has had to pay a lot of attention to, just because they had a smaller team, one of the smaller teams in the league last year. And so he found himself having to worry about the inside oftentimes. I think they're going to just, especially early in the season too, just go to the things that you know well, and it's Cat shooting threes. So I think he's going to average at least 7 threes per game in the Timberwolves' first 10 games. I think Cat's going to come out launching. Now, he might play fewer minutes. It's possible he's, on a reduced minute schedule, but I think he's going to shoot at least 7 threes a game in the Wolves' first 10 games, which would be a lot more than he shot last year per game. So there you have it. Those are your Write That Down predictions.
Write that down.
And your accountability session, the only show in America that actually puts statistics next to our predictions. We also do a football version on Purple Daily you can check out later on today. And then on this show tomorrow, Reckless Speculation Thursday with our friend Doogie. We'll see you guys then.